Something that my therapist told me that changed my life, changed my perspective, and changed the way I view things. Being an entrepreneur is a career path. It is a career. So I feel like that was just such a tiny little push to what I needed in the perspective, especially since I left nursing. I've almost been like still looking for a career when I know what I want to do, which is YouTube, among other things. And there's really no shame in doing something in the meantime while your YouTube channel's kicking off, or your art business, or your Etsy, or whatever it is that you want to do, that you're passionate about doing, that you want to use to escape the 9-to-5, writing a book, multiple streams of income, all of the above, okay? Those are lots of ways to make money and passive income. I recently went back to work serving tables, and the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like society doesn't view being an entrepreneur as a career, as like a legitimate thing until you're successful. People often think of the innovators and the entrepreneurs and the trailblazers as crazy people because they're not doing what everyone else is doing, okay? But like, sometimes that's a good thing. And society as a whole shames that because it's like a sheep mentality. We all want to be the same because we all want to be accepted and loved, which is like an inherent thing that humans need. We need love and affection. But it gets to a shadow side. It gets too much, too toxic. And that's what I'm talking about today. Because part of the reason I have my YouTube channel is to share my journey as authentically as possible, like an authentic expression of myself. And right now, I'm still figuring things out. To be completely honest, I'm not exactly where I want to be. However, I am at peace with that. I accept that. I'm okay with eventually. I'm okay with getting my manifestations and my desires eventually. I'm okay with eventually. We can play it out until then. And, for me, I see things that are meant for you as inevitable, logical. We now live in a day and age where there's countless new ways to make money, to build streams of income. It's not advised to rely on one source of income, even if that's one job. Okay, even if your one job is being a doctor, it's not advised to rely on one source of income. You never know what could happen. You saw Doctor Strange. He messed his hands up and he couldn't be a surgeon anymore. Imagine going to school for like your whole life and then something happens and you can't do your job, or mentally something happens and you're not all there. You literally never know what could happen. And I'm not saying all this to like worry you, but I'm saying like what's meant for you will happen in your favor, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. But society puts too much importance on what we do, what career we have, okay? I'm tired of like going into a conversation and someone's like, so what do you do? Like, I wanna know your values. I wanna know, what do you value in people as a human being? What are your characteristics? What do you dream about? What are your biggest fears? Too much importance on our career. It's almost like people don't feel as valuable unless they have a degree or unless they have a, respectable, successful career in the eyes of society. For example, the arts will get shit on. People will be like, oh, don't pursue art, you won't make money, blah, 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 blah. But like, where would we be in this world without art? Imagine if Harry Styles said that. Why do we have to have a job to feel important and valuable and heard and understood and secure and safe? Like, can I not just exist? Is that not enough? Can I not just be alive and breathe and have inherent value as a human being just because I'm alive and not because of what I do and how productive I am and what career I have, how many followers and subscribers I have, okay? Like, for example, kids, babies, they don't do anything. They don't contribute. They don't pay rent. In fact, they cost money. They don't do a job. And yet people in society view kids as pure, as to be protected, and often is more important than adults. And now I'm not saying like, that's not true. My point is, at what point in our growing up did we become less valuable in the eyes of society based on what we do. Okay, because like as a kid, we don't do anything, but we're like, whether our families are good to us or not, like society views kids as valuable, you know, precious beings. So then at what point in the growing up process did people start viewing us differently based on what we do? At what point were they like, oh my God, I'm tired of like it being a thing to have to worry about what your purpose is and like what job you're gonna have and what career you're gonna do when it's not even that valuable and important. Like it can change like that. And we shouldn't put our value into anything external, a career, a relationship, anything external, because that is like not tangible. You know, it could go away like that. People die, careers come and go, friends come and go, hobbies come and go, health, you know, our bodies come and go, our looks. We don't need to put anything, any of our value, our inherent self-worth, living as a human being into anything external. And that view from society that is fed is toxic. Why can't we have peace in just existing? Why does having a degree or career or success, like any external marker of success or relationship, why does that make us feel more important and more valuable than we already are, like right now as we are? Like, but think of us like years ago as kids, you know, as if we're looking at ourselves through the eyes right now at our child's self. We would protect them at all costs. They're little kids, you know, they're innocent. They could grow up and cure cancer, you know? We got to treat ourselves that way because we already are worthy and whole and complete within ourselves. And something we do with careers is that we wrap our identity, who we are, into our career, into what we do. But the problem with putting anything of importance into things externally, like a job, is that they can go away, they can collapse. One day we may love it, the next day we may hate it. The same thing that brings us joy is the same thing that could bring us hate the next year, month, 20 years, it doesn't matter. And the thought of that like external thing collapsing or no longer working out or changing in any way psychologically feels like a threat to our identity. Like we will lose our identity if this job or whatever doesn't work out. At what point do we start putting our value into external things like our careers rather than looking for our value as human beings, as people within ourselves? And part of the reason I'm making this video is a follow-up to my I left nursing school video, because, you know, first and foremost, I want to say that I 100% stand by my decisions. I 1000% am happier. Oh my God. I really, following my heart, my intuition, I really just trust that I'm on the right path. But what I really don't understand, what I want to change about society is like, people look at you differently and treat you differently based off what you do. But we can't put like our value in what other people do, because like I said, nothing external is tangible. You have to get that value from within yourself, that self-worth. Know that you are valuable just because you're fucking breathing and you're alive. So something I've really learned that I want to help other people learn is that, or remind you of, is not to get your value and your validation from external things, whether that be a career or other people's opinions or your relationship status or your face, your body. You know, it taught me the more I love myself, the more whole I feel, and the less I feel like I need something outside of myself to be happy. We need to bring awareness to our thoughts when we are having the illusion that once we get our manifestation, once we get that career, once we get that relationship, once we get that certain amount of followers, then we'll be happy, then we'll feel complete, then we'll feel fulfilled. Because it's not like that. It will never be like that. It's just a freaking hamster wheel. And the key to breaking that is awareness, realizing, oh, I'm thinking this, and just gently reminding yourself that it's not true. That what we're really looking for is to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the creation process, and enjoy each step and each moment and each day, because that's what we really want. What we really think, you know, everything we want outside of ourselves, you know, is so that we will, because we think we will feel happier once we get it. So if we can figure out how to be happy without it, how to be happy with ourselves inside, it is the key, baby. And it's not like, I feel like it's not something that's like a switch being flipped, you know? It's not something that's like, oh, I did this and now everything's fallen into place and I'm living my luxury dream life. It's, you know, it's a process to enjoy each like step along the way. It's not about getting to the end. And that can be really hard. I just don't think work and career should be our priority as human beings. I think it should be living and creating and being present